What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry that this upload is a little late. I already actually finished the initial recording for the video, but then realized that there were a bunch of things that I didn't properly address, as well as I was really tired at the time, so the video didn't come out very well. So I'm remaking the Oselargest video, and tomorrow I should have the Brant Gate start deck reveal done. Anyway, sorry for that very long ramble. Today we have the Dark States quick start deck reveal. So as always, we have the cards that are going to be included in the start deck itself. So we have the 5 extra cards outside of the main deck, and then we have the 50 card main deck here, and everything is vanilla. So we're going to go straight into what the ride line will be doing. So we don't have the starter here, obviously, because it does everything that every other starter does, but we're just going to zoom in very quickly here. And we kind of have this gargoyle goblin thing here. So pretty cool. I cannot read the characters here, so sadly I do not know what its name is, but that's pretty cool. Next we have featuring Balancer. So I'm just going to highlight this so we all know where it is. So its ability is when it is ridden upon by Steam Trimmer Nabuchador, Soul Charge 2, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets plus 5k until end of turn. So you're setting up a 15k Vanguard swing for turn 2. And during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Oselargest in its card name, this unit gets plus 5k. So it's a 13k booster. Same thing that we saw with the grade 1 of the Triumph Dragon ride line. Next we have Steam Trimmer Nabuchador. When this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 card with Oselargest in its card name, if your soul has 4 or more cards, which it will on ride, you may draw a card. Next, Guardian, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Oselargest in its card name, this unit gets plus 10k shield, so it's a 15k guard as well. So pretty simple, not much to see here. And now we're going to get into the main meat of the video, which is Cruel Beast Demonic Lord Oselargest itself. So its first ability, which is a shared ability amongst all of the quick start deck grade 3s, is the once per turn counterblast to search a persona copy, and then it also gives itself 10k power. I think it's a very good baseline skill. Again, plus 10k to your Vanguard, as well as guaranteeing persona ride as long as you have copies left in the deck, is really, really good, especially as a starting point for getting into Vanguard. And then next is when this unit attacks a Vanguard, cost energy blast 4, choose a grade 3 or less card from your soul, call it to rear, and it gets plus 10k until end of turn. So it's a mini Barrow Magnus without the field implosion, which I guess again is pretty good. We're going to be seeing cards that get additional abilities off of being called from the soul by Oselargest. We're definitely going to see a lot of power increases as well as probably draws. This is it for Oselargest. Again, we're going to have to see what type of high rarity support we get for Oselargest. I'm assuming we're going to get some kind of extra power gains, and we might also see rear guards that come out of the soul when something is called out by Oselargest. So that'll be very interesting to see. This is a pretty good starting point for anyone that wants to go into Dark States and get the whole feel of soul management. Next, we have the 4 cards that come in the trial deck, or yeah, the sealed deck, that are vanilla, that will be getting effect versions. First, we have Battle Hour Rupture Colossus. When it is discarded from your hand during your ride phase, you can Soul Blast 2 to draw a card. So that is the Gear Chronicle Colossus here. Next, we have Full Pigment Dragon. When this unit attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Oselargest in his card name, you can counterblast 1, put another front row rear guard into your soul, and draw a card. This is actually pretty good as well. Very good common support for Oselargest. It seems like the quick start decks will be getting the more affordable support. They seem to be more tame but consistent, and I'm assuming that especially the Faded 1 cards are going to have more upfront impact but less sustainability. But I could be completely wrong. But yeah, again, this is really good because one, you counterblast one and you put a rearguard into your soul. You could put a rearguard that you just bring out with Oselargest again and it just gets even bigger. And you also get to draw a card. So maybe we also get to see cards that when put into soul, if you have a Vanguard with Oselargest in a card name, you could probably countercharge or soul blast it to countercharge or something like that. That'll be very interesting to see the direction of. Next, we have Keen Prodigy Yushuan. When this unit boosts, if your soul has 5 or more cards, you can counterblast 1, energy blast 2 to draw a card, and the unit gets plus 5k until end of turn. So it's just a generic 13k booster with a draw for the mixed resource. Here being the counterblast and the energy blast. And last, we have Saiyan Kongamato. When this card is discarded from your hand during your ride phase, you may call this to rear as rest. It's a summoning sickness version of the 6k grade 1s that we got in the 3 Wheel-Dressed Trial decks that call themselves upon discard during the ride phase. It's just that these are full 8k bodies, so you get the extra 2k, but you also are not able to use them right away. They're kind of just floating bodies for the first turn, and then the second turn is when they start contributing any abilities. But then again, that is the extent of the ability, so whether or not you want to run this is completely up to you. Okay, so moving into the energy. So I kept this already from the first draft of the video, but looking at the energy, the grade 2 of this ride line doesn't have the energy charge ability, so that seems to be something specific to Dragon Empire, which gives it, I feel like, a leg up in terms of the ranking of this. Not only is it a consistent crit for Energy Blast 4, it also can sustain itself a lot longer depending on whether or not you leave the grade 2 in your soul. And I'd say that it is a little bit higher up on the list. You don't get an extra attack like you do with Oselargest, but again, consistent crit is really annoying. Once you exhaust all perfect guards, then everything is hard guard, and by then that's minimum 28k swinging. That's something to think about with Triumph Dragon. In the case of Oselargest, going first, you get 0 energy on turn 1. Turn 2, you get 3, which gives you a total of 3. So 0, and then turn 2, you have 3. No energy blast usage here unless you call Yushuan and start boosting with that. If that's even possible. It could be possible if you have 5 soul already. But generally, you're still going to be at 3. Turn 3, you get 6 total. And using your energy blast 4, you're down to 2. Turn 3, you have 6 energy altogether once you get your upkeep energy, and then you lose 4 off of your grade 3 ability, so you're down to 2, which gives you 2 more turns of being able to do this uninterrupted. And then you have turn 6 is where, unless there is an energy ramper, you are stunted here, but then once you get to turn 7, you're able to keep going. The 1, 2, 3, 4 that I had here earlier is just your Persona Ride copies. So turn 3, turn 3 to 6, you're obviously going to have your Persona Ride copies unless they go to the damage, or if you don't counterblast to search for it. But if you are planning to ride all 4, you will hit your final Persona Ride copy by turn 6, and turn 6 is the turn where you get bottlenecked in your energy blast if you aren't conserving it properly. If you go straight turn 3, 4, 5 energy blasting, turn 6, your final Persona Ride turn, and arguably your last turn with extra pressure off of your Persona Rides, will be the one turn you don't get that extra attack. So that's a bit of a problem for this deck going first without any energy rampers. Again, if we start getting energy rampers somewhere down the line, then we're not going to have any problems. But it is something to take into consideration, especially now that we are able to choose whether or not we go first or second after coin toss or rolling to see who goes first or second. So Oselargest is looking a lot like a going second deck, because looking at the numbers here, turn 1 you get the 3 energy for riding grade 1, turn 2 you another 3 energy just passively, so you're at 6. By the time you hit turn 3, you are at 9 energy, and you are using that up consistently and you don't get throttled until 9 minus 4, you're left with 5, and then you gain 3 the next turn, which gets you to 8. You're left with 8 minus 4 is 4, and then 3, 2 energy. And turn 7, you have 5 energy at the beginning. Minus 4 again for your grade 3. And then you're down to 1. And by turn 8, you are still going strong. You get obviously the 3 extra turns off of getting that extra 3 energy going second. But again, you can just take this for whatever. Obviously, games are probably not going to go that distance, but just as a general metric for how free you are able to actually use this, because obviously energy being a resource that cannot be touched has to be nerfed in a way, and I think that this is the best way to nerf it, just by having it trickle in every turn and making it a little bit more difficult to ramp it. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So that also sets a tone for the pace of these decks as well. For now, at least. Once we start getting rampers, or once we start getting more aggro support, as we're probably going to get by like set 3 or even set 2, these decks are probably going to evolve very differently from how we initially look at them. But anyway, that is it for Cruel Beast Demonic Lord Oselargest. What do you guys think of this deck? I think it's actually really interesting. Again, as I always say, I think everything is very interesting. I like experimenting with new deck play styles and play types. So this will be very fun because I like aggro decks. And this is an aggro deck. Which start deck are you guys looking forward to the most? My favorite one is the next one, and that will be the Brantgate one. I have not memorized its name yet, but I will by the end of the next video. Anyway, that's enough talking about the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy these quick run-throughs and first impressions of new decks, please leave a like and subscribe. And also, if you guys want to get more info and more discussion on these videos, you can leave comments down in the video. And if you want to check out the original source of where I got these off of Kairos Darkblade on X, formerly known as Twitter. So you can go and check out a little bit more of the discussions over there if you haven't already. But anyway, guys, I will see you in the next one.